You see them right there? They're ahead of him, coming up to I-10 here. No, we're going to be going southbound.
Good afternoon, everybody. Melanie Lawson and Art Rascone here in the Eyewitness Newsroom. We are following a car chase right now. We believe it is that Dodge Charger you are looking at there. Let's go straight up right now to Don Armstrong, who is above the scene in Sky Eye. And Don, how long have we been chasing this car?
We've been following this for about the past 10 minutes, actually trying to catch up with us. From what we understand, this is a Dodge Challenger, and it is a Hellcat, 707 horsepower motor in this car, and obviously going way faster than the speed limit here. This is just outside the Beltway on I-10. We're heading eastbound now, and probably about 100 miles an hour or so, if not faster.
Yeah, Don, that car is moving so fast. I'm not getting mixed Midas on my IFB, by the way. I'm getting feedback, so I'm turning it down. But, Don, that vehicle is clearly going at least 110 miles an hour. That guy is moving along, and those Chargers, if you've ever been in one of those and driven those things, they can cruise at 150 without a problem, and that's what's dangerous.
Well, that it is, Art, and again, a lot of police here in pursuit. They were ahead of him a little while ago. We were going back westbound on I-10, and then he went over the Beltway and then back to the eastbound side here on I-10. So we're headed back out toward the San Jacinto River currently.
Yeah, wow, look at that. And look at him weaving in and out of those vehicles.
Yeah, that's what's
Don,
scary.
and it is so scary because he is coming so very close to all of those vehicles, and they've been following him for some time now because we know that the officers were all around him and sort of spotted him, and without lights, just sort of slowly following him, almost tagging him. But now we have a chase clearly underway, and this guy is cruising well above the speed limit.
All right, what we're getting is what we've heard anyway from different sources is that this car had a tracker on it. We believe it may be stolen, and the police are in pursuit of this. And they lost him for a while because he got so far out in front of them, but the tracker helped them pinpoint exactly where he was, and so they narrowed their focus down on this chase, clearly using the feeder now, the side over there on the emergency shoulder, trying to get around all of these cars. We're out here at the San Jacinto River, heading eastbound on I-10 at a high rate of speed. Usually these things don't end well. We also got reports, and this is just right now, as far unconfirmed, that this particular person has a long gun, a rifle, in the car with him. Now, we don't know whether it was just a stolen car or there was something else that happened prior to him stealing the car. We just don't have all of the details yet. But again, heading at a high rate of speed out here on I-10, the Baytown East Freeway, the San Jacinto River.
Hey, Don, we'd heard at one point that Houston police were chasing him. Is that still the case? This is obviously pretty far outside of their jurisdiction now.
Well, for fear that I will lose him, I can tell you that there were probably a dozen HPD cars in pursuit. At one point, they got ahead of him because he had made a U-turn, so they were already there. He passed them, and I do know that there are sheriff's deputies involved in this as well as the HPD chopper, at least one of them in pursuit with us up here with this chase heading eastbound on I-10.
How fast are you going, Don?
Our current speed is about 100 to 110, so we're kind of keeping up with him. And his problem is that there's been traffic, so he's had to kind of slow down to maneuver through the traffic.
Yeah, and on some of those open stretches, you can clearly see that he picks up speed. He probably jumps from 100 to 130 or so, you know, but this guy is moving along so very fast. But wow, just incredible speeds. We just hope he just doesn't get involved in an accident here on the freeway, because we know how that would result, especially when you're traveling at this rate of speed. But man, at this rate of speed, he's going to be in Beaumont in 30 minutes, Don.
Well, that's right. This car will do well over 100 miles an hour with 707.
now, and he's weaving in and out among other cars, which is probably the most frightening part. This is usually when we see some terrible accident happen, as Art mentioned. But tell us where you are now.
Let me get a marker for you here. Mike, can you tell us where we are? Mike's coming up on Garth Road. Garth Road.
So way past
So we're way out
Buc-ee's.
here.
Yeah, way past Buc-ee's.
Way
right.
past
Yes.
Buc-ee's. Okay. That's a
right.
marker.
Buc-ee's
That's
is a
become
marker
landmark,
for everybody.
Yeah. Wow. And so here's the story for those of you just joining us. This Dodge Charger here, the white one you're looking at, traveling at speeds well over 100 miles an hour. I mean, our pilot is traveling at over 100 miles an hour, and it's been tough to keep up with him. But we believe, now this is not confirmed, but we believe it may have a tracker device in it, and it may be a stolen vehicle. But police have been following him for some time, but the chase just began only moments ago, and we've been right on top of it with Sky Eye Pictures as he has been traveling at 100 to 120 miles an hour off times and weaving in and out of traffic. And oh, wow, just so very close to
so
many
close
of those
to-
vehicles.
Yeah, and you're wondering, he doesn't want to collide with one of those 18-wheelers. That's
Oh,
not
my
going to end
gosh.
well for him.
No.
But what we do know is we believe this is a stolen vehicle, a white Dodge Challenger Hellcat. And as Art has pointed out, it's got a lot of horsepower there. You can really move at pretty good speeds. We're also hearing that Precinct 3 may also be...
No way.
I know for a little while they lost him because he was so far out.
120 miles an hour. And zoomed in all the way. I can't zoom in any further than that.
Oh, my
I thought
goodness.
he was going to take the Wallaceville exit, but is not.
Yeah, okay, so to
Past that
remind the
motorcycle
audience,
rider, yeah.
here's the problem here. We've been trying to keep, we've been trying as the chopper, I'm talking about we as the ABC 13, trying to keep up with this guy. The chopper's traveling at 120 miles an hour. We have extended zoom lens into this guy, and yet he's beating us. You know what? And that can't happen because, you know, as much as we don't want it to happen, because HPD is having a tough time keeping up with this guy as well. So he's cruising sometimes well over 130, 140 miles an hour on some of those open stretches, clearly slowing down when there's traffic close by. But he's passing some of these vehicles like they're standing still.
Yeah, that's
I
absolutely
mean, that's
true.
how fast this guy is moving.
Well, and the interesting thing is the traffic continues to kind of build up there. We're seeing more vehicles than we did even just a few moments ago, and yet he seems to just thread the...
exit. I'm going
Okay.
to lose him here behind the trees.
Yeah.
But
All right, so that's the Anahuac Liberty exit. That would, if he took that exit, of course, he'd be going north to Liberty. But if he stays on this, eventually it's going to go from 3 to 2 lanes. He's going to eventually come to Winnie. And if he's being followed still by deputies, he's way out of Harris County line. He's already in. What's the next county? Colin, if you could check out the next county. I know you weather guys are always into understanding where the count is.
He's approaching Winnie
Yeah, he's going to
right
be
now.
approaching Winnie, and that's going to eventually take those 3 lanes into 2. You have 2 lanes, so
Well, and the scary
there's the
part is he
exit
keeps
to-
passing
there's
these
the exit to
motorcycle
Anahuac
riders.
Right there.
what's that, Don?
One of the other things I might add is that we are trying to assist the police
Yeah.
because we've got a camera on him and he has lost them. So we're trying to assist the police up here as to his exact whereabouts. But obviously he still continues to pull ahead. We're going to try to keep up with him as long as we can.
Yeah, Don, we're going to let you all kind of put the pedal to the metal there and continue to keep him in sight. But we can see a lot of 18-wheelers. Obviously, there's a lot of commercial traffic on I-10 East as it passes through our area.
Right.
But we think he is already approaching Winnie. He's very close to there right now.
Yeah, he's close to Winnie. He's not approached it yet because you still have 3 lanes of traffic.
Well,
When
and
that
he's hitting
comes
a
into
lot of
2,
traffic right now.
Hitting a lot of traffic, but eventually those 3 lanes will be reduced to 2. That's close to Winnie. You're into Chambers County now. You're way outside of Harris County line, but yet he continues to move. You can't put spike strips. That's just not feasible, not doable at this point because there's so many other vehicles on the road.
It looks like
You
we may see some police officials there. I'm not sure.
Police
Some
on the
flashing
side.
lights, yeah.
But you know what? That might be something else as
Yeah.
well because that guy just, is cruising by all of this and well, for him, this just may be a Thursday drive, you know? This is just crazy what he is doing.
Well,
Just
we believe he's in
unbelievable.
a stolen vehicle, which obviously is giving him incentive to move even faster. But at some point, he's going to run either